Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Fox Demon. Sign in at the beginning with Qingyun Flowing Sword Traveling through the world of the Fox Demon. Little matchmaker, Lin Yan has obtained a check.In system that allows him to check in different areas and receive various rewards. And Lin Yan's first check.In was the unique skill of the Shadow Assassin Qing Feng. Qingyun Flowing Water Sword. From then on, a powerhouse capable of reaching the pinnacle of the entire world emerged. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 2. The Red Thread Fairy, a Childhood Sweetheart. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Due to the intense conflict between humans and demons, most of the human race can choose to get married at the age of 12 or 13. Lin Yan, who is now 14 or 15 years old, is already considered to have delayed marriage and childbirth. When an ordinary person gets married at the age of 12 or 13, like a family member who needs to cultivate, they can be delayed by more than 10 years, and it doesn't matter if they get married at the age of 20.4 or 5. Ha ha ha. Qing, who do you think I should learn swordsmanship from? Lin Yan touched the back of his head and burst out laughing, then looked at Tushan. Although this is what Tushan casually said. After Lin Yan raised it, Tushan also fell into contemplation. There are also so-called martial arts schools in Muyang City, but she is afraid that Lin Yan cannot bear this hardship. And regardless of whether it's a demon or a human race, the earlier you step into the path of cultivation, the better. Lin Yan, now over 15 years old, is no longer the best age for practicing martial arts. Even if one has talent, their future achievements will definitely not be high. Do you want to persuade Little Stone? I seem to have said the wrong thing. Tushan suddenly thought of this possibility and immediately stopped talking. Because the growth environment of the human race and their demon race is very different. In recent years, as the Red Thread Immortal of Tushan Qingjing often travels to various places. So most of the time, I bring Lin Yan with me, but at first I didn't feel anything bad about it. But now, children who are about the same age as Lin Yan are either married and have a family. Either by studying hard in the cold window and achieving fame, or by practicing martial arts and joining the Tao Alliance. But Lin Yan followed him and became more like a peaceful life of Tushan Red Thread Immortal. However, in Tushan's view, this is not a bad thing either. If Lin Yan really wants to practice martial arts, she doesn't object either, everything is centered around Lin Yan. No matter what choices Lin Yan has, Tushan is always supportive in her heart. Miss Qingjing. Lin Yan looked at Tushang's face for a moment and felt a bit uncomfortable, and also asked with some confusion. I even thought in my heart that I had said the wrong thing. It's nothing. Learning swordsmanship, let's put it aside for now. Sister, let's first look for Little Stone. Tushan forced a smile and also reached out to touch Lin Yan's head. Just like when Lin Yan was a child. If it's a big deal, I'll exchange more silver for Little Stone when the time comes. Let Little Stone do some business when he gets rich and marry a girl from a good family. Well, that's best. Tushan took a deep breath and had already decided on it in her heart. Anyway, as a demon race and a Tushan Red Thread Immortal, the money of the human race is nothing to her at all. As long as she wants, she can give Lin Yan a very good life. Well, listen to you, Sister Qingjing. Lin Yan nodded, although he didn't understand Tushan's meaning. But upon hearing this, it is also clear that I do not intend to find a wife for myself first. Alright, Little Stone. You wait here for your sister, she's going out for a trip. I'll take you out to play when my sister comes back in a few days. Tushan patted Lin Yan's head and stood up, intending to go back to Tushan first. This Muyang city is very close to Tushan and can be reached in about an hour. So, there is also a small courtyard where she placed Lin Yan. The current Tushan is different from the Tushan in the original work. As a territory of the demon race, it is not so friendly to the human race. So even Tu Shanqing dare not take Lin Yan back to Tushan without permission. I know now, Sister Jingjing. Lin Yan nodded but didn't say anything. After all, this has also made him accustomed to it. Today's leader of Tushan is not the three sisters of Tushan Honghong. But it's the black fox goddess Fengqi in the original work, so the current Tushan rules are also different from what Lin Yan knows. After bidding farewell to Lin Yan, Tu Shanqing immediately flew away. Only Lin Yan remained in place, seeing Tu Shanqing fly away. He picked up the branches under his feet again. Buzz! A burst of green sword energy began to spread from Jiang Tian's wrist to the branches in his hand. The sword energy of Qingyun Flowing Water Sword emanates only for a moment. It made the surrounding air tremble as if the sharp breath flashed by, and the weeds on the forest rock ground were instantly split into two. However, Lin Yan never moved his wrist. Undoubtedly, it is the killing move of the Shadow Assassin Qing Feng. This sword energy is simply beyond defense. Lin Yan gently waved the branch in his hand, and a piece of empty space was cleared under his feet. This is not the full force he exerted, if he exerted all his strength to wield the Qingyun Flowing Water Sword. I'm afraid the branches in my hand will instantly turn into ashes. As the killing move of the Shadow Assassin Qing Feng, this move has a strong destructive power. Once, he defeated Sherman and Mandala, both Shadow Assassins, with just one strike. Speaking of this Qingyun Flowing Sword alone, Lin Yan can be considered a pseudo-second-rate powerhouse. This is just one thing, it's just Lin Yan's first check.In. The reward for future check.In may be even better than this. This Qingyun Flowing Water Sword, although not highly ornamental. But it is fast and powerful, making it difficult to defend against. A lack of attention can easily influence the victory. Lin Yan waved the branch in his hand again, and after deliberately controlling his sword energy. With a touch of blue light, he swung towards a giant stone ahead at an unseen speed. The speed is so fast that one can only see a flicker of blue light in front of them. By the time the reaction came, the giant stone had already been split in half. The incision was incredibly smooth, making it difficult to imagine that it was cut open by a swift and powerful sword energy. Ha! Lin Yan exhaled a white breath and a hint of joy appeared on his face. After two simple attempts at the Qingyun Flowing Water Sword, he immediately sat cross-legged on the ground. Start operating and check in to obtain the internal mind technique. Qingyun Secret Scroll. I have already gained 10 years of internal power, and it is not difficult to cultivate. After only running for a week, Lin Yan could feel the internal force in his body, which began to surge continuously. Continuously flowing within the body, making it more proficient in controlling the body and internal power. Not only that, Lin Yan can also feel that after every Sunday's operation. Internal strength, including subtle enhancements throughout the body. The top-notch techniques possessed by the Shadow Assassin Qing Feng also brought joy to Lin Yan's heart. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 1. Check-in, Qingyun Flowing Sword. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Check-in system. You can sign in different areas, and as long as you sign in, you can receive various rewards. The first sign in each area will definitely receive rare rewards. At this moment, Lin Yan's face couldn't help but show a surprised expression. It has been almost 10 years since Lin Yan crossed the river, and although the world is still relatively stable, Lin Yan still lives with some trepidation. This is entirely because this world is not an ordinary world, but rather an anime world called Fox Demon Little Red Girl before Lin Yan's travels, and it is also an ancient era where conflicts between humans and demons are very intense. Here, every day, human villages are attacked by ferocious monsters, and a large number of humans die due to their attacks. Monsters are synonymous with cruelty and terror, and when humans encounter monsters, they almost never stop dying, without the kind of beauty reflected in the original anime. What kind of demon tribe beauty, cross-racial love, and so on, are basically unrelated to ordinary people. System, I need to sign in. Without any hesitation, Lin Yan decisively chose to sign in. The main reason why Lin Yan lived a life of anxiety for 10 years was that he lacked strength. Even if he had some strength, Lin Yan still longed for the love in the original work. As long as the relationship between humans and demons succeeded in continuing under the bitter tree in Tushan, and as long as the monsters did not die, they were likely to live another life. This is also something Lin Yan is very tempted and yearning for. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully signing in. The host has signed in for the first time in the area of Muyang City, and has obtained the perfect level sword technique. Qingyun Flowing Water Sword, as well as the internal mind technique. Qingyun Secret Scroll. They have also gained 10 years of Qingyun internal power. With the sound of the system prompt, Lin Yan felt a scorching heat flow replicating from his abdomen, quickly flowing through his body for a whole week before returning to his abdomen. The flow route was deeply engraved in Lin Yan's mind, which was the operation route of the internal mental skill Qingyun Dense Scroll. Then there is a massive memory of practicing the Qingyun Flowing Water Sword. In my memory, Lin Yan practiced diligently for decades, and along the way, he cultivated the Qingyun Flowing Water Sword from an entry-level to a perfect level. From there, he had to walk his own path and comprehend his own unique artistic conception. Little stone. What are you fooling around here alone? Just as Lin Yan was preparing to make a brand new plan for his future, a fair and jade-like palm lightly patted Lin Yan's shoulder. Then, appearing within Lin Yan's line of sight were a pair of clear and bottomless eyes, like a clear spring. Smooth green hair gently brushed through Lin Yan's nose, allowing him to smell a faint fragrance. This is Lin Yan's childhood sweetheart, and it is also the biggest reason why Lin Yan is worried. A Tushan fox demon who likes to run towards human areas, Tushan Jingjing. 10 years ago, when Lin Yan first crossed over, he was only 4 or 5 years old. As soon as he crossed over, he reached the wilderness and soon encountered a fierce pack of wolves. Just when Lin Yan was about to despair, Tu Shanqingjing appeared. He easily drove away the wolf pack and saved Lin Yan. After learning that Lin Yan had nowhere to go, he took Lin Yan on a journey around. Lin Yan also learned that he had traveled to the world of the fox demon Little Red Lady through his casual conversations with Tu Shanqing. Ah, it's nothing. It's just a sudden thought of something that makes people feel happy. Looking at Tu Shanqing, who was almost approaching her face, Lin Yan's face turned slightly red. It has to be said that she is truly a fairy, truly a natural beauty that captivates the soul and soul. Although we have been living together for 10 years, Lin Yan still can't resist the charm of cotton-clad mountains and clear waters, and occasionally comes up with imaginative thoughts. Oh. Tu Shanqing glanced at the branch in Lin Yan's hand, which was a bit funny. This is a branch that Lin Yan picked up from the ground just now after signing in and receiving the inheritance of Qing Feng's unique skill. He is ready to wave it casually and use the Qingyun Flowing Sword. Tu Shanqing, who was unaware of Lin Yan's identity as a traveler, had the impression that Lin Yan was very mature and stable from childhood to adulthood. If it weren't for her human identity, Tu Shanqing would even think that Lin Yan was some pretentious old monster. Unexpectedly, Lin Yan, who had always been stable, suddenly had such a childish side. However, although she found it a bit funny, Tu Shanqing began to think seriously. People and demons have different paths. At first, she saw that Lin Yan was young, so after learning that Lin Yan had nowhere to go, she adopted him and took him around all day. Now, 10 years have passed and Lin Yan is already 14 or 15 years old, almost at the age of getting married and having children. Should we temporarily find a place to settle down and let Lin Yan learn some skills? For 10 years, although it may not be a blink of an eye for Tushan, it is not long. However, for Lin Yan, he has grown from a small little bit in the past to slightly taller than himself. And as a human, how many decades can Lin Yan last? Little stone, do you think we should settle down in this city? I'll give you a small stone. Find a martial arts school, learn swordsmanship, and become a chivalrous and righteous hero in the future. Tushan had a decision in her heart. She looked at Lin Yan and smiled as she spoke out her proposal, saying, "After a year and a half, when I have learned something, I will tell you about a marriage and take a bride. How about that? Qingjing, why do you suddenly want to propose a marriage to me?" After hearing Tushan's words, Lin Yan was a little stunned and said reluctantly, "I don't have any objections to learning swordsmanship, but let's talk about getting married in a few years." Lin Yan does not want to get married, or in other words, he does not want to get married to a woman who is not Tushan. Over the years of getting along, perhaps Tushan's reaction may be a bit slow, but Lin Yan has already fallen in love with Tushan. However, due to his lack of strength and various other reasons, Lin Yan has not expressed his feelings towards Tushan before. Now that we have a check.In system and have gained some strength through check.In, Lin Yan thinks he can handle it. If it weren't for living with Tushan all along and knowing her well, Lin Yan wouldn't even bother to learn swordsmanship. Now he's just trying to find an excuse for his own strength. If nothing unexpected happens next, I have only been studying swordsmanship for a year and have come to understand the unparalleled sword technique of Qingyun Flowing Water Sword on my own. My talent is unparalleled, unparalleled and unparalleled. What will we talk about in a few years? In a few years, those around your age may start going to school. Tushan rolled her eyes at Lin Yan suddenly. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Muyang City Lantern Festival. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buzz. Lin Yan used his fingers to represent the sword, and the green sword energy wrapped around his fingertips. With the flick of his fingers, a blue sword aura shot towards a locust tree on the roadside. The sharp sword energy caused a crisp clang sound. But it did not attract attention in this bustling street. Under the control of Lin Yan, he penetrated straight into the locust tree that required two people to embrace. Bang! There is a big hole in the center of the locust tree, even if it falls down. The speed was not fast, and there were not many pedestrians nearby. When the locust tree fell, pedestrians quickly avoided it. Many people gathered around the locust tree. What's going on? It suddenly collapsed. Look, there's a pit in the middle of this locust tree trunk. It's been eaten by insects, probably for some time now. The residents of the small town gathered around the locust tree, looking at the hole the size of a bowl in the trunk, expressing their different opinions. But in the end, it was still unified, just as if the interior of the locust tree had been inhabited and eaten by insects. But the initiator Lin Yan walked into a nearby restaurant. Having ordered 2 roasted chickens and a stack of rapeseed, he sat at a wooden table and began to wait. However, things like roasted chicken have not yet been packed by the shop owner. I heard the sound of beating and cursing on the side. The sound of cursing came from a table next door, consisting of 2 Taoists, one old and one young. Waste. What's the use of you? You can't do such a small thing well. The old Taoist slapped the young Taoist hard in the face, and then loudly scolded and cursed. And this slap clearly did not extinguish the old Taoist's anger, and then he kicked him fiercely. In front of so many people at the inn, there was no mercy in taking action. Step on the little Taoist hard and keep hitting him. Even the guests eating on the side dared not come forward to dissuade them when they saw this scene. Senior brother. Stop fighting. I know I was wrong. I won't sleep at critical moments anymore. Next time, I will definitely guard well. Yesterday was when I was too tired. The little Taoist held his head in both hands, curled up on the ground, and constantly begged for mercy from the old Taoist. This scene also made many people unable to bear watching it. But no one dared to provoke this old Taoist. If there's an accident tonight. Then you just wait and see how I deal with you. The old Taoist seemed tired from fighting, took a short breath, and then pointed at the young Taoist and threatened. From the clothes of two Taoist priests, one old and one young, as well as the way they speak. Lin Yan already had some speculations about the identities of these two people in his heart. Is it the old Taoist who captured Tu Shanhong and Tu Shanrong in the original work? The little Taoist who called him senior brother should be the one who was accidentally killed by Tu Shanhong in the original work. I didn't expect to meet you here. Lin Yan looked at the two Taoist priests in front of him, and couldn't help but think of their identities in his mind. From the moment these two people appeared, as well as the nearby Tu Shan. It is obvious that in the original work, Tu Shanhong will soon be caught. However, Lin Yan doesn't want to cause any trouble now. After taking a sip of the tea, he shifted his gaze away. However, Lin Yan did not notice, but the old Taoist's gaze stopped on him for a while. Objectively, your roasted chicken is ready. Please take it. After about a stick of incense, the shop assistant also walked up to Lin Yan with 3 oil paper packaging. The aroma of soy sauce emanating from the oil paper also brought a smile to Lin Yan's face. Such delicious roasted chicken, bringing it back will definitely make Tu Shanqing very happy. Excuse me. Lin Yan smiled and placed the silver in his hand on the table, greeted him, and stood up. Carrying the roasted chicken, Lin Yan walked out towards his home. And the old Taoist stood up and walked to the side of the shop assistant. Take out the silver that the person just gave me and show it to me. The tone of the old Taoist was like an order, making people dare not refuse. But this shop assistant is also a young man. When he saw the old Taoist who was even half a head shorter than himself, he also softly cursed that he had something wrong. Just as he turned and left, before taking 2 steps, he suddenly felt his feet out of control and stopped in place. The old Taoist walked forward and pinched the broken silver in his hand. The art of fox demons. The old Taoist frowned slightly and gently pinched the broken silver, causing a cloud of white smoke to rise from it. Gradually, it turned into a small stone. You're such a rude old Taoist. Let's forget about the little Taoist who came with you. Are you still robbing silver now? The restaurant owner walked up to the old Taoist in a fit of anger with a big belly. Seeing the silver shards that had just appeared bright and turned into small stones, I thought it was a deliberate move by this old Taoist. He was shouting for the waiter to report to the government, but the waiter's forehead was covered with beads of sweat as big as beans. Because no matter how hard he tried, his feet couldn't move and he couldn't even make a sound in his throat. It is obvious that the old Taoist who was ignored by him just now is a person with real abilities. It's just a few taels of silver. Here you are. The old Taoist snorted coldly and took out a broken silver that was even larger than before from his arms. Throwing it to the restaurant owner also freed the constraints on the waiter. He waved to the little Taoist beside him and called him over. Who was that kid just now? Are you from Muyang City? The old Taoist frowned and asked the restaurant owner in front of him. As a businessman, when you see silver, of course there is an indescribable smile on your face. Even after checking the silver, he began to explain. That young man is indeed from here. Since I was so tall, I have often come to our restaurant for meals. It seems there is another sister who is very beautiful. The words of the restaurant owner made the old Taoist's mouth curl slightly. You should know that the fake silver just now is clearly the technique of the fox demon's transformation. A fox demon whose cultivation has not reached a certain level is definitely impossible to cultivate. The fox demon who can cultivate this art of change must have reached adulthood. How to find them? The old Taoist's eyes flashed with a cold light, and he threw a silver ingot to the restaurant owner. This is not just a broken silver, but a solid silver ingot. Seeing this silver ingot, the restaurant owner's eyes lit up instantly. Master, it's not difficult to find him. Tonight is the Lantern Festival in Muyang City. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Zhou sign, 5 years of swordsmanship cultivation. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Relying solely on this skill, Lin Yan is confident that he will at least reach the realm of the Demon King in the future. In the world of Fox Demon Little Red Lady, the most top-notch combat power is the third young master of Aolai country. And secondly, it is distributed among the major forces in the 4 domains. The Southern Demon Emperor Huan Du Qin Tian, the Northern Mountain Demon Emperor Shi Quan, the Fan Yunfei of the Western Region Sand Fox Clan, and the 2 Mountain Grand Leader Tushan Hong Hong. Although, according to the current timeline, Tushan Hong Hong, the Demon Emperor, may not have grown up yet. But the Demon Emperors of the other 3 forces have already become famous experts for a long time. It is estimated that in the next 20.30 years, Tushan Hong Hong will grow. At that time, we will be able to achieve the power of the Demon Emperor, suppress other members of the Demon Clan, and secure the position of the leader of the Demon Alliance. Under the power of the Demon Emperor, there is the Demon King level combat power. Don't be fooled by the fact that the Demon King level combat power is quite impressive. Even among the Northern Mountain Demon Clan, there are still 80 without 100. But it is definitely one of the top combat forces in this world. The next day, Lin Yan woke up and immediately opened the check.In system. Ding! Congratulations on the successful host's day signing. Obtain a 10-day cultivation. As the sound of the system fell, Lin Yan also felt a surge of heat in his body. Compared to yesterday, I can feel that the strength in my body is even stronger. On the 3rd day, Lin Yan did not sign in his own courtyard, but instead wandered around the city of Muyang. It was not until a guest house in Muyang City that the check.In system was activated. Ding! Congratulations on the successful host's day signing. Continuously clock in and earn 100 taels of silver. Compared to yesterday's cultivation reward, the silver reward today is a bit inferior. Every time Tushan Qing leaves, she leaves enough silver for Lin Yan to use, so she doesn't worry about the silver at all. On the 7th day, Lin Yan gradually became familiar with the internal mental techniques he had practiced. From the beginning, running a Sunday takes 1 or 2 hours. Until now, it only takes half an hour to operate the martial arts once. The improvement in strength is also very obvious, and within half a month, Tushan Qing has also returned once. However, after staying for a short time, I went back to Tushan. And regarding the check.In system, Lin Yan has also figured it out quite well. The system sign-in is divided into daily sign-in, weekly sign-in, monthly sign-in, and annual sign-in. The longer the check.In time, the better the reward will be. These 7 days of rewards are all relatively ordinary rewards, the best of which is to reward Lin Yan's 10 days of internal power cultivation. The worst, even the reward was just 2 meat buns. Lin Yan also speculated that for his first sign-in, the reward may be as low as 1 monthly sign-in. Moreover, the location of the first check.In will also result in some changes in the reward. Little stone. What are you doing? Tushan Qing's voice suddenly sounded in Lin Yan's ear, and Lin Yan, who was originally sitting on the ground, immediately opened his eyes. He looked at Tushan Qing with a smile on his face. Although this shout interrupted Lin Yan's thinking. But for Tushan Qing's sudden return, she was also very happy in her heart. Qingjing, why did you suddenly come back? Are you planning to go out again? Lin Yan looked at Tushan Qing with a surprised expression on his face and directly asked. In the past, he was often taken by Tushan Qing to various places. And Tushan Qing also takes good care of him. Although he goes to complete the Red Line Immortal mission, he never forgets him and takes him to various towns for sightseeing. Hehe, that's not right. Why did you forget? What time is today? Today, there is a lantern festival in Muyang city. Of course I want to accompany us, little stone, and go for a good stroll. Tushan Qing leaned naturally on Jiang Tian's shoulder and said with a smile. The Lantern Festival. Qing Jing, do you still remember that? Lin Yan was slightly taken aback. He had rarely gone out for the past half-month. Apart from necessary shopping for supplies, I have hardly ever gone out, so it is unclear when the lights in Muyang city will be. Yes, I have always remembered it. Little Stone really likes lantern festivals, right? Tushan Qing nodded and casually lifted her chin, saying proudly. But these words made Lin Yan show a bitter smile. The person who wants to go and play is probably Miss Qing Jing, right? Lin Yan rolled his eyes and immediately exposed Tushan Qing's words. He is not a fool, so he naturally understands Tushan Qing's thoughts. Moreover, most of the time, Tushan Qing looks more like a child. All kinds of delicious and fun things in human towns are the favorite of Tushan Qing. Almost every time you go out, you won't miss it. Humph, you know how to expose your sister and see her jokes, right? I'm sorry, I still think of you for everything. Tushan Qing pretended to be unhappy and let out a snort. Don't turn your head and don't look at Lin Yan. But in reality, the gaze kept wanting to float back. And Lin Yan also came forward and sat next to Tushan Qing, gently touching her with his own shoulder. Knowing that Tushan Qing was pretending to be angry, Lin Yan's small actions also made Tushan Qing start to hold back her laughter. However, before I could hold it for long, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Qing Jing, it's still early now. Wait for me, I'll go out and buy 2 roasted chickens. After we have dinner, we'll go out and hang out at the Lantern Festival. Lin Yan extended his finger and lightly tapped some of Tushan Qing's cheeks. And the roasted chicken, he said, also caught Tushan Qing's eye. Without any hesitation and pretending to be angry, he quickly nodded at Lin Yan. Lin Yan also smiled and put on a coat, walking quickly towards the outside of the small courtyard. The Lantern Festival will only start when it gets dark, and roasted chicken is Tushan Qing's favorite food. Compared to the food eaten in Tushan, there is still no delicious food from the human town. Especially in Muyang city, there are many delicious inns. System, perform check.In. As Lin Yan walked briskly towards the restaurant, he also began his check.In. This time's check.In, but it was a weekly one, which also made Lin Yan look forward to it. Ding! Congratulations on the host's successful check.In. The weekly signing conditions have been met. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining 5 years of swordsmanship cultivation. As the sound of the system sounded, Lin Yan's eyes also showed a glimmer of brilliance. 5 years of swordsmanship cultivation may not seem like a long time, but it is enough to save oneself 5 years of time. This reward is much more precious than 5 years of internal strength. Especially what Lin Yan is currently practicing is the Qingyun Flowing Water Sword. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. The New Goals of the Old Taoist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Generally speaking, every household will go out. The restaurant owner smiled and accepted the silver ingot, giving a positive answer. This answer also satisfied the old Taoist. When even leading the little Taoist towards the second floor of the restaurant. The second floor is the guest room of the restaurant, and it is obvious that the old Taoist intends to take a break first. "Senior brother, what's wrong? Is there anything wrong with the young man just now?" the little Taoist asked curiously as he went upstairs. His cultivation is very low, but it also shows that Lin Yan has no problems. "Humph, of course that kid has no problem. It's just that there's a problem with the silver he gave, and there's also a faint demonic aura on his body. It's obvious that there's a fox demon around him. And it's still a grown fox demon, if we catch it. Then sell it to the Heavenly Immortal Academy, I'm sure I can make a big profit. At that time, I can also go to the Gubao Zhai to buy my favorite magic weapon." The old Taoist's eyes shone brightly, and the smile on his face was even more difficult to conceal. His eyes were sharp, and he immediately noticed something was wrong with Lin Yan's body. But he did not startle the snake, but chose to verify his own thoughts only after Lin Yan left. Tianxianyuan is a famous fireworks scene in mainland China. Not only are they human beauties, but there are also many demon beauties. There are also many places exclusively for wealthy people to play, and they will sell some people to the Heavenly Immortal Academy. For this, as long as the appearance meets the standard, the Heavenly Immortal Academy will give a heavy reward. That's why the old Taoist chose to stay in the human town near Tushan. I want to take this opportunity to find 1 or 2 suitable fox demons and sell them to the Heavenly Immortal Academy for a large sum of money. Then, at the ancient treasure studio where Dao Meng specializes in selling magic treasures, buy a piece of your desired magic treasure. I see, I truly deserve to be my senior brother. The little Taoist nodded and a surprised expression appeared on his face. Although I felt it was inappropriate in my heart, I did not refute the words of the old Taoist. The two of them went together to the guest room of the restaurant, preparing to rest until night and search for the trace of Lin Yan. On the other hand, Lin Yan, who returned home, did not know that he was already being remembered. After seeing Tushan, he placed the roasted chicken in his hand on the table. Help Tushan open the oil paper and hand it to her. "It's really delicious." Sure enough, it's still the best roast chicken at Lin Quan restaurant. Tushan pulled off a chicken leg and bit it in her mouth. As the gravy splashed, there were also oil stains on the sides of the mouth. Upon seeing this, Lin Yan also took out a handkerchief and carefully wiped the oil stains on the corners of Tushan's mouth. This move made Tushan, who is usually carefree, blush slightly on her face. But he quickly recovered and even pulled a chicken leg on Lin Yan. Little stones still need to be replenished more. Otherwise, the president will not be tall. Tushan placed the chicken leg directly at Lin Yan's mouth. The 3 words of that little stone left Lin Yan with no chance to refuse. I had to take a bite of the chicken leg and then take it over. The two of them were chatting and laughing while eating, chatting until the night. Lin Yankai took Tushan out. Tushan held Lin Yan's arm all the way, and the two of them walked on the street, looking at the colorful lights around them. The Lantern Festival, like the Chinese New Year, only occurs once a year. Each household will take out their best colored lights and place them at their doorstep or at the entrance of a shop. There will also be many vendors on both sides of the street, and various delicacies in the city are among them. Tushan, holding on to Lin Yan, has also become one of the few beautiful scenic spots in the city. After all, Tushan is too beautiful. Even in Tushan, a place rich in beauties, Tushan's appearance can rank among the top. As long as there were men around, their eyes couldn't stop glancing at Tushan's face when they saw her. These people's gaze is really annoying. Have you never seen a woman like this? Pass by and take a look. Tushan sighed lightly, wishing to cover up her face. Just as I walked along, I was almost already stared at by countless people. This feeling made Tushan very uncomfortable, as she had never experienced it before in Tushan. Qingjing, this is not Tushan. Any fox fairy in Tushan who comes here will be enchanted by these men wandering around. Moreover, it is Qingyun, who belongs to the top among fox immortals. It's normal for these people to have such expressions. Lin Yan smiles and hears Tushan Qingqing's roast. I also spoke up to help these fellow human beings and explained. Which woman doesn't like to listen to people she cares about and praise her beauty? Even Tushan Qing was the same. When she heard Lin Yan's words, the corners of her mouth couldn't help but rise. And you, why don't you even look at your sister? I see, Xiaoshi thinks that sister is not as good looking as other women. Tushan Qing pretended to be sad and pouted, with a hint of sadness in her eyes. This sudden change also surprised Lin Yan. It is said that a woman's heart is like a needle in the sea, and her mood is even more unpredictable. Unexpectedly, it is true. Qingyun, don't wrongly accuse me. I told you earlier that if I want to marry a wife in the future, I will marry someone like Qingyun. I really don't like other people. Who makes me face such a beautiful Qingyun every day. Lin Yan spread his hands and expressed his innocence, while also praising Tushan Qing with ease. Sure enough, as soon as these two sentences were uttered, Tushan Qing couldn't help but burst out laughing. He reached out and pinched Lin Yan's cheek, giving him a white eye, but in his heart, he was still very happy that Lin Yan could say so. Look, it's Bingtanghulu. I haven't eaten for a long time, the boss gave me two. Tushan Qingqing was happy and turned around to see a peddler carrying Bingtanghulu. Even when he stopped the vendor, he took out a broken silver from his pocket and handed it to the vendor. In exchange for two Bingtanghulu, they will have one with Lin Yan. However, they didn't wait for them to put Bingtanghulu into their mouths. Tushan Qing's face changed slightly, and she pulled Lin Yan and suddenly retreated more than 10 meters. But at the place where they had just stood, an additional stone tablet suddenly fell. Bang! The stone tablet fell to the ground and made a loud noise, shattering even the ground. The spider web-like cracks spread continuously from the center of the stone tablet towards the surroundings. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Enemy between the human race and the demon race. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Seeing this scene, Tushan Qing's face was deceived, even if it showed hostility. And her gaze also turned to an old Taoist who walked out of the crowd. You should know that such a big commotion occurred, and the pedestrians around were also startled, mostly hiding towards both sides of the street. Quickly, the crowd split, and only the old Taoist and the young Taoist could be seen standing in front of Lin Yan and Tushan Qing. Are you so unlucky? You can even come across this old Taoist. Lin Yan frowned slightly, and after seeing the old Taoist, he also understood who the other person's target was. Those who dare to come to the vicinity of Tushan to capture fox demons and sell money are certainly not weak in strength. Now, even with so many people, he dares to directly attack Tushan Qing. Demons, dare to infiltrate the crowd and plot against our people. Today, I am doing justice for the heavens. Everyone, please step aside. This woman is pretending to be a fox demon. Although the old Taoist doesn't care about the lives of these ordinary people, he still doesn't want to cause any trouble. When even with a loud reprimand, he grabbed Feilu with both hands and urged the newly flying stone tablet to suddenly smash towards Tushan Qing. Old Taoist, I have no grudges or grievances against you, and I have not harmed anyone. Don't bully others too much. Tushan Qing's face changed slightly, and she quickly retreated as she pulled Lin Yan. She didn't want to have any entanglement with the old Taoist in front of her. One reason is because of Lin Yan beside him, although Lin Yan had already learned about Tushan Qing's identity. However, Tushan Qing did not want to kill his fellow tribe in front of Lin Yan. The second is that her home with Lin Yan is located in the city of Muyang. If her identity is exposed at this time, not to mention her in the future, even Lin Yan will find it difficult to live here. People and demons are not at odds, let alone you, as a demon tribe, are staying in our human tribe town. Their hearts can be imagined, but they are not the kind. Today, the old Taoist is practicing on behalf of heaven. A cold gleam flashed in the eyes of the old Taoist. He wanted to stand on the high ground of the human race and punish Tushan like this. The Tushan fox demon has a beautiful appearance and is good at bewitching people. He doesn't want to act on his own. Tushan pretended to be pitiful and asked the civilians around her to help her. Little stone, let's go quickly. Don't entangle with this old Taoist. Tushan turned her head to look at the crowd around her, and from their eyes, she could also see emotions such as disgust and fear. I immediately understood that staying here would not be good for both of them. Pulling up Lin Yan means planning to leave here first. But before she could fly with Lin Yan, she saw the stone tablet flying rapidly towards her. The speed is several minutes faster than before. Upon seeing this, Tushan immediately activated her demonic power and punched the stone tablet. Bang! If Tushan can become a red thread immortal, her strength is definitely not weak. But compared to the old Taoist who possessed magic weapons, her hasty strike did not cause significant damage. On the contrary, under the collision of forces, a counter-seismic force caused a blood stain to overflow from the corner of Tushan's mouth. Miss Qingjing. Upon seeing this, Lin Yan's face also changed slightly, and he immediately took 2 steps forward to catch Tushan who was flying backwards. I searched inside and luckily, Tushan did not suffer multiple injuries, which relieved me. It's indeed a monster. Taoist, hurry up and kill her. Not bad, this monster dressed so seductively every day to seduce men, it should be killed. Fortunately, with the presence of the Taoist priest, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to predict which day this monster would have eaten us. Hurry up and surround yourself, don't let this monster escape. Yes, the men from all families should hurry back and get their weapons, don't let this monster run away. The people of Muyang city who used to watch dramas around immediately changed their faces when they saw that Tushan could withstand the heavy stone tablet. Tushan started insulting each monster, especially the insulting voices of some women. Tushan's face gradually turned ugly beside her. Although it has long been known that there are numerous conflicts between the human race and the demon race today, which are almost difficult to reconcile. But I didn't expect that even the prejudices of these common people and the demon race were so deep. Okay, since everyone looks up to me so much, I will definitely live up to everyone's expectations. We must bring this fox demon to justice and hand it over to the Dao Alliance for disposal. Please help, fellow villagers. Don't let this fox demon have an opportunity to escape, as it will harm more people. The old Taoist pretended to be a fairy-like figure and bowed deeply to the people who supported him in the crowd. What he wants is this effect, blocking all the escape routes for Tushan in front of him. Ladies and gentlemen, it is true that I am a fox demon, but I have never harmed anyone in my life. I have a clear conscience. If you insist on being aggressive, please spare the child beside me. He didn't know that I was a fox demon, he was an orthodox human race. I hope everyone can spare this child. Tushan took a deep breath but did not feel angry. Or rather, she had already anticipated this situation, even if it was disguised well. One day, one will definitely be discovered in the human town. She only hopes that Lin Yan will not be excluded or rejected among the human race due to her own reasons. Everyone, don't listen to this monster's nonsense. This young man must be a slave raised by her, such a person cannot be called a human at all. Don't listen to this monster's nonsense, she just wants to find an opportunity to escape. Although the old Taoist did not know the true purpose of Tushan, he was very clear about one thing. She couldn't agree to any conditions from the monsters, as they were all cunning in her eyes. Whenever there is an opportunity, it will be found and utilized. It's just a young man of his own race. Even if he's of the same race, what's wrong? Even if he dies in front of him, he won't even take a second look. Yeah, I remember this boy, they lived across from my house. The two of them are known as siblings and have lived in Muyang City for a long time. A middle-aged woman also stood up and spoke at this moment. Lin Yan recognized this woman, who was indeed their neighbor across the street. The usually kind people, when looking at them at this moment, were full of hostility. And around, there were also many radical people who spoke up and wanted to burn Lin Yan alive. Also, I don't even believe that Lin Yan is a human race, and I openly criticize him as a demon race. Only a few kind-hearted people believe that Lin Yan should be let go. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Who took the initiative? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Qingjing, there's no need to say anything more. Just a group of ignorant people. Tushan was about to say something, but Lin Yan suddenly grabbed her palm. He knew that these ignorant people could not spare him. In their view, they themselves are equally a danger. It will endanger their lives in the future and make them feel uneasy and afraid. But you're just like them. Sister shouldn't have taken you with her. At this moment, Tushan heard malicious words from the people around her and was about to cry in a hurry. My eyes couldn't stop spinning in my eyes, as if they were about to fall at any moment. She is not afraid of being caught, what she is afraid of is that she will implicate Lin Yan due to her own reasons. But the little stone. Tushan planned to continue talking, but the old Taoist had already urged his magic weapon to attack. With just one strike, the sound of breaking through the sky is continuous. Upon seeing this, Tushan could only quickly push Lin Yan away, while she flew forward and engaged in a fight with the old Taoist. The strength of the two seems to be almost the same, but Tushan doesn't seem to have much combat experience. So, under the suppression of the old Taoist's magic weapon, they are restricted everywhere. But Lin Yan understood that the reason for Tushanking's low combat power was still due to her kind heart. Even when going out on weekdays, she would almost never take action. Living together for so long, he knew very well that Tushan had never personally killed a chicken. At this moment, facing the stone tablet prompted by the old Taoist. Even if it was just a magic weapon to deal with, it made Tushan in front of her feel a bit flustered. Little stone. Run quickly. First leave the city, then I'll go find you. Tushan knew that if this continued, it was very likely that neither she nor Lin Yan could leave. Even at such times, it was the first time I thought of Lin Yan and didn't want him to be harmed. But she underestimated the evil of human nature. Don't let that boy run away. He's with that fox demon. Not bad, catch him and burn him alive. Don't let the Taoist have any worries in the future. After hearing Tushan's words, some people immediately walked towards Lin Yan. Even some people hold weapons such as hoes or kitchen knives in their hands. With that fierce expression on his face, if an ordinary teenager saw this, he would definitely be scared back a few steps. But at this moment, Lin Yan had already accumulated a surge of anger in his heart. Boom! The internal strength of the body erupted instantly, spreading rapidly towards the surroundings with Lin Yan as the center. Like a gust of wind, pushing everyone out a few steps. Some people even fell to the ground because they didn't stand firm. Little stone. Tushan saw that there seemed to be a situation on the other side of Lin Yan, so she decided to go forward and protect Lin Yan first. I don't plan to continue to entangle with this old Taoist, I just plan to escape first. I'll talk about other things when the time comes. If it's a big deal, just move to a farther town and settle Lin Yan there. Demon. You can't run away. The old Taoist didn't hesitate to see any signs of Tushan's escape. Pinching the method with both hands, the stone tablet grew at a visible speed to the naked eye. He didn't even aim at Tushan, but instead aimed directly at Lin Yan. He had already noticed that Tushan was more concerned about his own safety. More concerned about the safety of Lin Yan. So, the old Taoist had already decided in his heart to first control Lin Yan. So it's equivalent to giving Tushan no chance to escape. But he never thought that Lin Yan was not an ordinary boy. I saw Lin Yan using his finger as a sword, flipping his hand, and a faint blue light flashed out, flashing past. Under Lin Yan's control, he unleashed a sword aura towards the direction of the old Taoist. The Qingyun Flowing Water Sword has the greatest advantage of being fast. In the blink of an eye, the blue sword light flashed by in an instant. In the eyes of ordinary people, perhaps this sword energy has disappeared. But those with sharp eyes who understand swords can distinguish at a glance. This is transformed from sword light into sword energy in an instant. Whether it's speed or power, they are definitely considered superior. Such superb swordsmanship, no matter where it is placed, is a contentious existence. And in the distance, the old Taoist could only see a glimmer of blue light flashing by, not taking it seriously. When he felt the sharp pain coming from his right shoulder, he couldn't even control his spiritual power, and the stone tablet immediately fell halfway down the flight, smashing to the ground, making a loud noise. Ah! The old Taoist let out a painful cry and covered his left shoulder. The excruciating pain on his left shoulder caused beads of sweat as big as beans to fall on his forehead. Only in swordsmanship, a blood hole as big as a bowl appeared inexplicably on his left shoulder. At this moment, blood is constantly flowing out of the wound. What's going on here? I just realized that I didn't feel any spiritual or demonic power. Are there any experts here that I don't know about? The old Taoist's face was extremely ugly at this moment, and he instinctively took a few steps back. Looking around with a frightened expression, he was able to live at such an old age not only because of his good strength. It is his cautious personality that led him to do so many bad things and live for so long. Good opportunity. Little stone, let's go. Although Tushan is not sure how this old Taoist was injured. But I understand very well how good this opportunity is. Holding Lin Yan is like flying into mid-air. Without looking back, he quickly flew back in the direction of Tushan. Now, there is no other place for her to feel safe besides Tushan. When she entered the territory of Tushan, she didn't think the old Taoist dared to catch up. Qingjing, that old Taoist is injured. Shouldn't we take his life while he's sick? Lin Yan looked at Tushan, who was flying away with him, feeling a bit speechless. He had no intention of concealing his strength, but it was obvious that no one could tell from his recent move, the Qingyun Flowing Sword. On the contrary, it was Tushan who, upon seeing the old Taoist injured, not only did not repair his sword, but also chose to flee. Little brat, what do you know? That old Taoist is not so easy to deal with, my sister can't beat him. Although I don't know how he got injured, fortunately there's a chance to run. Tushan lightly tapped Lin Yan's head and said to him with a speechless expression. She certainly knows the phrase, take advantage of your illness to kill you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Going to Two Mountain. This doesn't work. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But even if the old Taoist was injured, she was not sure. Moreover, she was also worried about Lin Yan. If she continues to fight with that old Taoist, Lin Yan may also continue to be in danger. After all, she didn't know that the little stone she had grown up with could have such strong strength. And Lin Yan could also see a caring expression from Tushan's eyes. It can also be understood that Tushan was concerned about her own safety and fled with her at the first time. Turning his head to look in the direction of the old Taoist, Lin Yan's eyes also flashed with a killing intent. On the side of the old Taoist, he did not pay attention to Tushan who had escaped. Instead, he just looked around with a wary expression, instead of focusing on his escaping prey. He was actually more worried that there might be some powerful guys around these ordinary people. Senior brother. You're injured. Are you okay, senior brother? The small Taoist squeezed out from the bustling crowd and saw the heavily injured old Taoist in front of him. Immediately and also very concerned about the inquiry. Damn it, where did you go? Hurry up and take out the aphrodisiac. The old Taoist saw that he couldn't find the enemy hidden in the dark, so he immediately slapped the young Taoist in the face. After tearing the wound, his face also turned ferocious. And the little Taoist on the side dared not speak when he saw the situation. From his backpack, he quickly took out the golden wound medicine from his body and carefully rubbed it onto the old Taoist's wound. During the process of applying medicine, the old Taoist also showed his teeth and grinned. But he didn't dare to take action against this little Taoist again, so as not to let his wound be torn. The pedestrians on the side were also at a loss when they saw the old Taoist suddenly injured and Tushan suddenly leaving. No one dares to ask the injured old Taoist who is currently regulating his breath. That Taoist. Are you okay? Just as everyone was at a loss, the Lord of Muyang City, a middle-aged man with a big belly and loose stools, walked out. He asked the old Taoist who was regulating his breath. Although he is the lord of a city, he has no confidence in facing these so-called cultivators. After all, it is clear to everyone that an ordinary person cannot be enemies with these powerful and highly cultivated cultivators. On the contrary, he should quickly flatter the person in front of him. It's not a big deal, are you the lord of Muyang City? Could you please arrange a place for the old Taoist to rest for a while? The old Taoist slowly opened his eyes and glanced at the chubby city lord in front of him. He also nodded calmly and said. In front of outsiders, he still needs to pretend for a while. But in my heart, I have already planned to leave here as soon as my injury is healed. That's nature, that's nature. Taoist, you have done your utmost to prepare the best accommodation and doctor for us in Muyang City. I have prepared the sedan chair, please wait a moment. The lord of Muyang City nodded obsequiously and quickly arranged for his servants to get up. Soon, a sedan chair was carried over by 4 people. With the help of the lord of Muyang City, the old Taoist quickly sat in the sedan chair. What kind of guy is he that has such means? I didn't even feel it, so I suddenly took action and forced myself to look like this. The old Taoist took a deep breath, and in the sedan chair, he was not hiding himself. The expression on his face became fierce, and the chill in his eyes made him feel scared just by looking at him. But at this moment, the old Taoist was more afraid in his heart. After all, no matter what, the person who is injured now is him, and he has not found anyone who took action in the dark. Being able to have such strength, one move dealt a heavy blow to oneself, and even made oneself unable to react. If this person had not been in the dark, the old Taoist knew very well that he might have died long ago. So, why did the other party not kill themselves, but only hurt themselves in the dark? This left the old Taoist puzzled. On the other side, after leaving Muyang City, Tushan took Lin Yan along the way and hurried towards Tushan. She didn't stop until several miles away from the Tushan boundary. But Tushan felt a bit uneasy again. After all, the Tushan territory also does not allow the human race to easily enter. Even if it's reincarnation and continuation of fate, it still requires the children of the demon tribe to accompany them. She didn't trust herself to leave Lin Yan here alone. Otherwise, it is very likely that something unexpected will happen. What's wrong, Sister Qingyun? Why did your face suddenly look so ugly? Lin Yan looked at Tushan in front of him and probably guessed her thoughts. Actually, according to Lin Yan's thoughts, it doesn't matter to him where he goes. Even if Tushan is not so friendly to human cultivators nowadays, it's okay. Anyway, it doesn't take long for oneself, and one's strength can be greatly improved. In Tushan, there may still be good things. After all, his check.In system is actually very necessary for these special locations. It's nothing, I'm wondering where to send it to you. You can't go back to Tushan with me either, so I have to arrange a destination for you, little stone. Tu Shanqing shook her head and briefly explained to Lin Yan. But as soon as he finished speaking, Lin Yan reached out and took Tu Shanqing's hand. Qingjing, why do you think so much? Just take me back to Tushan, wouldn't you? When Miss Qingjing comes to see me, it won't be so troublesome anymore. Lin Yan smiled slightly and directly expressed his innermost thoughts. You know, going to Tushan is the best place in Lin Yan's heart. No, Tushan is mostly a demon tribe. If you go, it will be very dangerous if I am not here. I don't trust you that way. Moreover, I have no reason to take you back to Tushan. It's also difficult for you to stay in Tushan. Upon hearing Lin Yan's words, Tu Shanqing immediately opposed them. Of course, she also wanted to bring Lin Yan to her side. With so many years of love, the relationship between the two has become very deep. Whether it's family affection or anything else. Anyway, Tu Shanqing doesn't want Lin Yan to leave her side. She also thought about taking Lin Yan back to Tushan. But no matter what she thought, she couldn't think of a reason to make Tushan's leader agree to keep Lin Yan. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Reincarnation and Continuation of Fate, Giant Tree of Sorrow. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qingjing, what's so difficult about this? We can reincarnate and continue our relationship. Don't you always say that Tushan's tree of suffering is a divine tree? Can we help those who are destined to continue their fate in the afterlife and meet each other in the afterlife? As long as I go to make a wish under the Kuqing tree with Sister Jingjing, won't we never separate again? Lin Yan pretended not to care and casually stated a possibility. Although he himself is aware that this possibility is actually not significant. Because reincarnation is not just about two people willing to continue their relationship. It requires both Tushan's consent and genuine love between the two. Silly kid, what are you talking about? How could we possibly reincarnate and continue our relationship? Tu Shanqing was also amused by Lin Yan's words. She has always regarded Lin Yan as her younger brother, but it can be said that she has no other thoughts in her heart. And she is not considered the top among the red thread fairies, without the heavenly book of the Tree of Sorrow. So every time I receive a task from the red thread immortal, I will go to the bottom of the Tree of Sorrow. It is not difficult for her to leave behind a young man of the human race in Tushan, who has neither status nor strength. Qingjing, why do you think so much? If you take me to Tushan and I'm caught, what would be the worst outcome for me? Will you make me cramp, peel my skin, cook and eat? Lin Yan looked at Tu Shanqing, who had a distressed expression on her face, and also let out a sigh to look for a taste. Although Tushan is one of the Demon Alliance camps, he has little malice towards the common people of the human race. Even in the mountain towns near Tushan, there are many civilians living there. Sometimes, if there are some small-eyed monsters causing trouble around, it is the fox fairies in Tushan who help to deal with it. Everyone also belongs to a mutually beneficial existence, after all, there are human towns in it. Fox immortals sometimes choose to go to that small town to collect some necessities. I can't be a fox fairy anymore. Just like some ordinary beasts, go devour the bloody rabbit meat. I don't think so. The most serious thing is to kick you out. We Tushan are not the kind of cruel demon clan forces. The reason why fox immortals are called fox immortals is also because they do not harm the people of the human race. Tu Shanqing shook her head, but from this sentence, she also suddenly patted her head. I suddenly feel like I've made the problem a bit complicated. Anyway, Tushan is not as unfriendly to the human people as other forces in the Demon Alliance. If it were just an ordinary human youth, expressing to the outside that he was just a servant he had taken back, it wouldn't matter if he pointed it out. Thinking of this, Tushan Qing also breathed a sigh of relief. Little stone, let's go. Sister, take you back to Tushan. Tushan Qing picked up Lin Yan and quickly flew towards Tushan. Since you have already figured it out, there is no need to think too much. With Lin Yan, in just half an hour, they had already arrived outside Tushan Mountain. Soon, Tushan Qing was discovered by many fox immortals. Oh, isn't this Qingjing? Why, I can't help but bring back a young man from the human race. Does it seem like you're planning to become a child caregiver? Qingjing has also grown up, her spring heart is rippling. Some fox immortals speak more blatantly, and it is obvious that they are familiar with people like Tushan Qing. When joking around, it also made Tushan Qing's face turn red with a flash. I was too lazy to explain to these fox immortals, so I took Lin Yanbian and hurried to my own courtyard. Ha! Little stone, don't go out on weekdays if you have nothing to do inside. I'll find a better place for you in the future and pick you up later, sister. Tushan Qing felt that the road from Tushanmen to her place of residence had become unusually distant. Along the way, I was teased by many fox fairies. Her heart also pounded a bit faster. Especially after the eye contact with Lin Yan, this feeling became even stronger. Lin Yan is no longer the little boy he used to be. Now, at the age of 15 or 16, Lin Yan is taller than Tushan Qing. Although not considered handsome, she still has a delicate face. With all these years of interaction, Tushan Qing was looking at Lin Yan, and this feeling in her heart also made her quickly calm down. Don't worry, Sister Qingjing, I know. I won't cause you any trouble. However, the scenery of Tu Mountain is really beautiful. I didn't expect it to look like such a fairyland on earth. Lin Yan nodded with a smile, but his gaze did not turn to Tushan Qing. Instead, he looked at the scenery outside the small courtyard. It has to be said that the scenery of Tushan is truly breathtaking. Apart from the 4 words, fairyland on earth, Lin Yan couldn't think of any other adjectives. Just surrounded by mountains and rivers, the constantly drifting mountain mist is mesmerizing at first glance. If you get used to it, it's actually okay. Alright, sister, go get some food for you. You wait here. Don't run around, little stone. Tushan Qing glanced at the scenery outside, but there were not many ripples in her heart. It may also be because I grew up watching these landscapes from a young age. Compared to Tushan in this fairyland on earth, she may prefer the human town with the earthly smoke and fire. After giving Lin Yan a few words of advice, Tushan Qing walked out directly. She doesn't have anything to eat at home, or rather she's a fox fairy, so she doesn't need to eat so many times a day like a human. Tushan Qing eats purely to satisfy her greedy mouth. Got it, Sister Qingjing. Lin Yan watched as Tushan Qing left and obediently closed the wooden door. I sat on the swing in the courtyard, swinging on it while recalling what had happened not long ago. Although it is already late at night, there are still many lights shining around Tushan. Before dinner at night, Lin Yan's stomach also started to scream out in frustration. This is Tushan. I don't know what I can get for checking in tomorrow. And the giant tree of bitterness. Lin Yan couldn't help but feel a slight smile on his lips as he thought he had already stepped into Tushan. And his gaze also turned to a giant tree standing in the center of Tushan in the distance. That is the fundamental support for the power of Tushan, providing a magical tree for reincarnation and continuation of love between humans and demons. If I could go to sign in under the tree of sorrow, the things I would get would definitely not be worse than what I signed in for the first time. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. The Lord of Tushan, Fengqi. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. On the other hand, Tushan Qing also took advantage of the darkness and went to his familiar friend's house, borrowing some food that Lin Yan could eat. Although it's some jerky or something like that, it can at least make you feel full. When it's dawn tomorrow, go find some necessary supplies. But before Tushan Qing could bring her things back, several dark shadows appeared in front of her, blocking her path. Are you? Tushan Qing looked at the four people in front of her, and her face instantly became less attractive. Not all the fox immortals in Tushan are red thread immortals. There are also some powerful fox immortals who are doing shady things within Tu Mountain and are directly subordinate to the Lord of Tu Mountain, Fengqi. The four people in front of me are the capable subordinates of Fengqi's subordinates. Fengqi Empress wants to see you. Come with us. The leading fox fairy, with red pupils shining, spoke coldly to Tushan Qing. This doesn't sound like a negotiation, but a concrete command. Just one sentence made Tushan Qing's heart tighten. Because the four fox immortals in front of her felt even stronger oppression than the old Taoist she had encountered before. And there is also the most important reason. They represent the Lord of Tushan. Yes. 4 envoys. I don't know if Fengqi Empress is looking for me. Is there anything else? Tushan Qing was surrounded by 4 people in the middle, and she also felt a little scared in her heart. But rather than being afraid of these 4 people, perhaps what she fears the most in her heart is still the Lord of Tushan. If you shouldn't ask, don't ask too much. A cold voice came from the front, causing Tushan Qing's body to tremble slightly. Immediately, there was no further questioning, just obediently following the fox fairy in front. Until reaching the center of Tushan, a small courtyard under the giant tree of suffering. Madam, the person has already arrived. One of the envoys gently knocked on the wooden door in front of them, waiting for a reply to come from inside. Carefully pushing open the wooden door, Tushan Qing was immediately pushed in. After the wooden door was closed, Tushan Qing dared to carefully examine this small courtyard. It looks almost the same as the small courtyard where I live. But even standing here made Tushan Qing feel a bit inexplicably uneasy. When Tushan Qing was restless, the wooden door in the house in front of him was also opened. A barefoot woman wearing a black long dress walked out of it. Even Tushan Qing, who was used to seeing beauties in Tushan, was a bit stunned by her face. Although this is not the first time she has seen the Lord of Tushan, Fengqi, every time she sees it. It would make her feel a little emotional. How could there be such a beautiful fox demon in the world? Behavior and demeanor, even if just lightly lifting your fingers, can make people feel extremely charming. Qingjing, I heard you brought back a young man from the human race. Is this thing true? Fengqi walked slowly to the stone bench in the middle of the courtyard and sat down, looking at Tushan Qing with a smile on his face. Even with the simplest eye contact, Tushan Qing immediately lowered her head and half knelt on the ground. At this time, Tushan is no different from Tushan 100 years later. Now Tushan is under the jurisdiction of Fengqi. Her tactics are far more powerful than the 3 sisters of Tushan Honghong. Almost all the red thread immortals are afraid of this Tushan lord. Yes. Empress. But Little Stone is just an ordinary boy, he is not a member of the Dao League. Due to his poor background, Jingjing adopted him and it has been some years since then. I hope the Empress can spare this poor child. Tushan Qing's face changed as soon as she heard that Fengqi was inquiring about Lin Yan. I don't know where the courage came from, so I spoke about Lin Yan. And this almost rebuttal of the initiative not only did not make Fengqi angry, but also showed a hint of laughter in his eyes. Oh. Are you refuting me for a human youth? It seems that you haven't made much progress in cultivation, but your courage has increased quite a bit. Fengqi's eyes narrowed slightly, with a calm and majestic aura, covering Tushan Qing directly. And this majestic aura also prevented Tushan Qing from continuing to speak. Even if there is fear in my heart, I understand that it is impossible for Lin Yan to suffer any harm in Tushan. Even if it means risking her life, it's not an exaggeration. It seems that you have fallen in love with that human teenager. It's really curious what kind of person that teenager really is. I can promise you to let that boy live in Tushan and be with you. But similarly, I also need you to help me with some things. What do you think I call equivalent exchange? Fengqi walked up to Tushan Qing and reached out his hand, gently lifting her chin. With a smile on her face, she looked at the fox fairy in front of her. Her words also made Tushan Qing's face show a smile. Really? Thank you, madam. Qingjing will definitely do her best to handle the things instructed by madam. Upon hearing Fengqi's words, Tushan Qing's face also showed a hint of joy. With the recognition of Fengqi, the Lord of Tushan, Lin Yan is equivalent to having an ID card in Tushan. Equivalent to becoming a part of Tushan, it is an object that all fox immortals would acknowledge. Even if Lin Yan is a human race, it is the same. Because no one dares to resist Fengqi's orders. As for what Fengqi asked her to do, it doesn't matter. As a red thread immortal, she belonged directly to Fengqi, and obeying Fengqi's commands was a natural thing for her. This is nothing at all, so it's normal to agree. Great, but you can't tell anyone what I asked you to do. The same goes for the boy closest to you. Do you understand? If you disobey my orders, then this young man won't be as easily kicked out of Tushan. Fengqi's mouth slightly raised, as if everything was under his control. And the last sentence was also a warning to Tushan Qing. The person you care about the most is in your own hands, you must listen well. Tushan Qing's face showed a hint of surprise, and a bad feeling couldn't help but rise in her heart. She didn't understand why Fengqi, who had a more capable general, needed this humble fox fairy to do something that could not be told to anyone. Yes. Empress. Qingjing knows. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.